fallopian tubes and the prostrate, but primarily it's the bilberry first and the golden seal second. Now we move on to dysentery, which is an old name for diarrhea. And sometimes you want to shut it down altogether, but most of the time we're trying to get the waste out of the system, out of the skin. And we use mullein, the beetroot, the barberry bark, the birch, the bistort, the comfrey. Comfrey popularly is one of the most popular ones used for dysentery. Again, we can go to the laxatives such as rhubarb, and we can go to the skunk cabbage, which is good for colds and flus and the respiratory tract. And we could try to settle the stomach with the peppermint tea, which is good for that. And then you have the witch hazel, which is astringent to slow down the fast-moving action of the colon. So we use these astringents such as witch hazel and shepherd's purse. We only have the purse there. But ginger is good for the digestive tract. So I would say the ginger, and if you want to clean out the digestive tract, then you go to the rhubarb and maybe some skunk cabbage. Dizziness, we use peppermint to primarily feed the nervous system, and of course catnip to calm the person's dizzy spell. Dandruff, a lot of times that's caused by chemicals today. We use nettle, that's the most popular one for dandruff, nettle and sage. Burdock would come in third. You would mix these in equal parts, by the way. Some people rinse their hair with nettle and sage. Just leave it in. For deafness, we're dealing with maybe congestion in the ear. Sometimes we use garlic oil to get that congestion out, wintergreen oil, or oil of sassafras, or oil of hemlock, or oil of myrrh, or tincture of myrrh, or tincture lobelia, which you put directly in the ear. To drink, you use the chickweed, oregano, which is a seasoning, and marjoram, which is a seasoning. You would drink those for deafness. Now we have the old term dropsy, which you would call edema today. That's water retention or swelling. We use the wood betony, the hemlock, the buchu, which is a diuretic again, the juniper berries, which is a diuretic again. So we're trying to get the person to urinate out this water retention with these herbs. But sometimes the water retention causes waste to accumulate in the system, in the tissue. In that case, we use black cohosh and blue cohosh. And we use celery and cleavers, which is good for colds and flus. We use that to get rid of the waste that's in the tissue that's causing the tissue to need this water to dissolve it. We use the dandelion, the elder, the hydrangea, which helps get rid of that water retention. Indian hemp, which opens up the pores and lets it come out. Milkweed, mullein is again used for colds, flus, and skin disease, and helps get rid of that waste in the tissue, which is causing the water to be retained. Nettle is good for opening the pores and cleansing the tissue, stop the water from coming. Oregano, parsley is a diuretic. Then we're back at the skunk cabbage for the tissue, skin, and colds. The spearmint, which helps relieve the digestive tract. The stress on it helps get rid of that waste in the system. The tansy, which is used for abortions, is astringent as well and helps to expectorate waste. And then we have the white ash and the white willow part. And the hyssop, of course, is a diet that what we call it helps open up the pores to help the waste come out. And the chamomile and the marjoram, which is commonly called the seasoning, the pennyroyal, and the dwarf elder. Diarrhea, of course, is another form of constipation. And again, we're trying to slow it down. If you're trying to slow it down, you use astringents like comfrey. You're trying to relieve the digestive tract of the stress that's causing the diarrhea to occur. We use the peppermint, the mullein again, the nettle, marshmallow. We use popular. We use the red raspberry. Rhubarb is a laxative to help flush that waste out. St. John's wort, which helps calm the stress that's caused by this condition. And slip around, which is good for keeping the colon cleansed anyway. You can take about 2 tablespoons of slip around powder a day and some water juice to help keep your colon cleansed. And that would be a preventive to stop this diarrhea. And yarrow, which helps cleanse the digestive tract, it works on the liver. Wormwood gets rid of parasites of all types. And you're going to have parasites when you have constipation and diarrhea, by the way. And ginger, which is good for stimulating the liver to break down the waste, to get rid of the condition that's causing the diarrhea. And rock rose, hemlock, and cinnamon is also good. You can get that out of your kitchen to help relieve this diarrhea. Shepherd's purse, again, is astringent to slow down the process because we have the fast expulsion of food, which means you're losing a lot of electrolytes and you're going to be drained of potassium. And again,